Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me, respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
I suppose being on panel would help, right? Start the show? Yeah. Well, I was still trying to clean up from the other live. Sorry I was late. Once again, I was over on the Tarot Reading channel, wrapping things up over there. I thought I would be done in time, but things didn't pan out that way. However, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. We were discussing over on the other channel a few things, and I have some thoughts and opinions about some things, and I'm not sure, Hippie Sissy, if you would be willing to, if you want to join panel, we could talk, definitely go back and forth about things. Should be my soundtrack. Listen, I love that soundtrack. I do, because I'm like one that is like, I don't care what, like, whatever, I don't give a fuck what you say. My way kind of thing. I'm gonna stack bricks up, build what I want to make. You can't tell me what I want to make. Definitely how I live my life. Nobody tells me what to do. I tell me what I want to do, and if you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's how I roll my life. That's like seriously a theme song. After like listening to it, I'm like, wow, this is like a life track for me. We are right. We survived for a few minutes unsupervised. Yeah. Thank God you kids were good in the chat, right? Hey, I'm KB. I did see you join on the other one. I hope I said hello at least. I didn't want to be rude. We were kind of shutting things down. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link in chat in case anybody wants to come up and join me on this topic or and discuss anything. I would I would love to have the back and forth. I can also pull up a few really good videos that I have found on this whole thing. The surprise witness has been my freaking go-to guru for all of this. She's the one that stumbled upon it. Um, let's see. I want to what surprise witness. Thank you. Oh, I guess I got to go into her channel before clicking the live feeds or her videos. I'm trying to expert on Amanda Rep. Twins missing. I'm gonna pull up. It hasn't been that long, has it? Maybe it was a live she did. Sometimes she goes live. Nope, maybe it's not a live she did. Latest. Was it BJ Investigates? Just 1 second, guys. If anybody wants to join backstage on the panel, I'd be more than willing to talk to you guys there. I bounce back and forth between each of her channels. She has said, she don't mind other channels as long as you tag her for her work, and give her the credit she deserves, which what it is what it is. So we were discussing on the other channel, Bam Margera from Jackass, the founder of Jackass. It's not recently, over the course of like a little over a year or so, he's been put in what they call the Florida Shuffle. They're basically as he finishes one stint of a conservator involuntary like inpatient treatment thing, they find something to make him have to do another stint. So he's been in the system and been bounced around back and forth. He can't seem to find a way out of it, out of the system that he's in. He's recently been released. I did read 4 days ago that he was in another rehabilitation center in Philadelphia. I believe that's where it's at, Philadelphia. It's just okay. So this is so much. I'm sorry, I wasn't reading chat, guys. Let's see. Does anybody want to come up and chat? This has all been such a haywire of a day. That is not making okay. I want to make sure that you guys are not like making any screeching loud noise. But yes. So I have been going down this rabbit hole. Okay, so it all started when she heard that Bam was put into a conservatorship. She's like, well, I wonder who requested this conservatorship. Okay, that is basically like the beginning of the rabbit hole that I have gone into. I've watched so many videos and there's and a lot of it just infuriates me. It pisses me off. She's wanting, like I said, she's given permission for other channels to commentate, to use her videos and just tag her in those videos that is being done, kind of thing. Obviously this was a last minute spur of the moment thing. So, I will tag her in everything in the comment or in the description below. However, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with her beginning her beginning video, the very first one that she's done in this case. Who put Bam Margera in a conservatorship? We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna present that. Share screen. Tab. Here's that. There's that. We're already playing. Let me know if it's echoing. Well, actually, I'll turn this off. From behind.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Tuesday?
Okay, so welcome to the rabbit hole I have found myself in. This here is BJ, also known as the surprise witness. She is a lawyer that quit being a lawyer because of all this mess that she has been finding out. And so she has relieved herself as a lawyer. She has the background, though. Always remember that through all of this, she has the background of a lawyer. So we're talking about when she's requesting FOIA request and she's not receiving all the FOIA requests, when especially based on a situation when she's like, hey, I'm doing an investigation, a public investigation into we're later gonna what we're now gonna find out is Bam's conservator. This is gonna be a rabbit hole y'all will hate me forever for getting you into, if you're anything like me and you get into these rabbit holes. So this is a 3-part case. You have Bam's conservatorship, you have Amber Robb and her untimely death in the rehab centers where this woman owns and runs. And mind you, there's nobody higher than her. So if you have a complaint about her, you can't go any higher. She's just it. She's it. So guess what? You're screwed. And then you also have her twin sisters that were big YouTubers, and they are said to be missing but found. It's such a convoluted whirlwind to wrap your head around. But once you like hear, or you watch a few of the videos and you're really into it, you begin to understand a little bit more where you're going from. So we're gonna dive into this video a little bit. I'm gonna actually kind of speed it, go up a little bit, where when she starts actually getting into things. So let's see.
Okay, so if y'all follow me on Instagram, you're gonna know most of this stuff if you've been keeping up. But I'm just putting it in a different format here for YouTube because I know a lot of y'all do not follow me on Instagram. So the first thing we're going to be looking at today is going to be the conservatorship document, or if this isn't a conservatorship document, but the conservatorship register of actions for Bam's case. So
the woman that she's okay, so the question was, who is Bam's conservator? Because she also looked into the conservatorship of Amanda Bynes, Britney Spears, and all, like she's done deep dives. If you look at any of her pages, she's always been curious of the conservatorships, because her thought is, it doesn't matter who you are or what kind of, like, maybe if you have an addiction. In Bam's case, he has an addiction to like alcohol and stuff and partying. And her outlook is as a human being, you have the right to be able to control the aspects of your life. Like, you shouldn't be made to be put into a system where you just bounced around and you can't ever get out of. You have the right to make your own decisions. There should be nobody ever making a decision over anybody, especially in this circumstance where the woman that runs the facilities and also holds the conservatorship over her patients, she's the only one. Like you can't go no higher than her. And then it also goes into a financial aspect of things. So if there's like any one of you guys that are out there that are watching that are interested or that know like the business side of things, like financials, this is a case for like basically everyone and anyone. You got your mental health, you got your addictions, you got cons- uh conservationships. It's everything all in one, and it's such a rabbit hole. I would like to maybe get some people together that would be interested in furthering down like okay, I'm not talking hey we're gonna go down every damn aspect or every line of this thing. No, I would be interested in maybe looking further into a few like rabbit holes of it. The rabbit holes, it seems to be one right after another, right after another. It's never ending, and to me, in my opinion, there's a whole lot of fuck shit going on here. This woman, I would never want to be under her thumb and her be my conservator, and I just can't. Okay? Um it's just a complete mess. So, we're going to continue.
Font is really small. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So as you can see at the top, this is all publicly available information. If you want this information, there is a link in the description box. It is not, I did not have to pay for it. Anything
Not too fast. Let me know. I will. How about we just do 1.5 just for good measures?
like that.
I'm sorry, I am a 2.5 listener because I just want to get through this and listen to everything. That's how I.
As you can see, it is being called in Ray the guardianship. I know it's so small. Of Brandon Margera, and that is Bam Margera's real name. And then petitioner. That means the person who filed the petition to put Bam into a conservatorship.
Again, this is all public information she's showing. Anybody can go to the web and find this. She actually does a live at one point to show how she does her research. So, like maybe some sites. So that way, if anybody is interested in maybe looking into things with me or digging into things, reach out to me. My email is let me there. There is my email. That's also my PayPal and my GoFundMe. If anybody's wanting to donate anything or whatever, help support the channel, that's always greatly appreciated. But so she's a lawyer. The information that she doesn't like redact, which is hardly any of it, it's all public information. It's all stuff you can get from a FOIA request. It's all open and out there. Half of it, you can just if you know the right sites, you can just get it. Okay? So, we're going to continue.
Her name is Lima Takali Yevremovich. Okay, this name might sound familiar to some of y'all right now already, and I'm going to get into why it might be familiar.
Anybody? Does that name sound familiar to any of you guys? Anybody know the YouTube channel, the White Underbelly?
To you. Now, Ward Brandon Margera. Pay attention to what they have listed. This is public information. If it was confidential, they would have sealed it. Because look, they sealed all kind of other stuff. We're going to
Now, this is where the first rabbit hole starts. Okay? Listen.
Get to that in just a minute. But they have Bam, as his address, the Ward's address being Tranquil Shores in Madeira Beach. Sorry, I don't know Florida town names, so I think that's how you say that. I really don't know. Okay. One more thing, couple more things actually. Case type, guardianship, incapacity, person only. Date filed September 14, 2021, and the judge is Sherwood Coleman. Who is Lima Yevremovich's attorney? Well, it is this lady, Elaine McGinnis. Okay, so I just wanted to acquaint y'all with the players and what's going on in the case. So he was alleged incapacitated, as you can see up here.
Okay. You're later going to find out that before Bam is even placed into the conservatorship, they have already, on this document filed, they have already listed his address as the rehab center's address. So before he's even living at this address, they've already filed for it and put him there at that address, even though that's not where he is. That's not his home address. Anybody else? Is this already like rattling your mind? Are you thinking like I was at the time, like how the hell are they gonna list this as his address when he's not even there yet? But they listed their facility as his home address.
Alleged incapacitated on September 14th by a Lima Takali Yevremovich, who lives in West Palm Beach, Florida. So what's
Now pay attention to the name. The spelling changes in the name. The whole name sometimes changes.
going on in Bam's case? Here are the events. And it's going to start from the oldest action at the bottom to the most recent up at the top. So as you can see, order for the conservatorship, application for appointment of guardian, that would have been filed most likely by this Lima person. Then, of course, always the third or fourth thing that they're going to goddamn file is going to be a petition to seal the documents, because we can't have people like.
So immediately after filing the documents for the conservatorship, she then files to have the conservatorship documents sealed. So the generalized public can't get their hands on it.
Like me and you going to see what these people are doing behind closed doors, hush hush, with our taxpayer money. No, it's got to be sealed. So of course, on the very day that Lima filed,
she's a very feisty lady. I kind of like her. She kind of is growing on me. I like her feistiness.
For this conservatorship, a petition to seal all the records was also filed. You do not see an opposition by anyone to seal these documents. I don't know who Bam Margera's lawyer is. Look, he has no attorney listed of record here, so I don't know who it is. It would seem for him to not be being represented by an attorney in this case, but I don't know. I can only speculate because they have sealed the record. Okay, so what else do we have filed? The transcript and an oath of a guardian was filed the very next day. Now, interestingly, the September 15th date is very important for another reason. On that exact date, let me get my papers out. I'll tell y'all. On that exact date, we had Nicole Margera, who is Bam's wife, filing.
I love that. Okay, so Bam Margera is the founder of the MTV show Jackass. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's basically a group of friends and buddies that went around and did stupid shit, beat each other up, did stupid crap to each other, pulled stupid pranks, and okay, so yeah, that's who he is. So he's out there in the public eye. But remember, she's also a lawyer. So when she's asking or she's trying to figure out, she's a lawyer. This is what she does. She digs into things. She finds the answers. But the answers she finds leaves you absolutely mind-boggled.
Custody papers. Custody papers in the courts of California, also publicly available. Sorry, I don't have these linked. Custody papers being filed the day after Bam was put into a conservatorship. Now, interestingly, all of this happens 1 month after Bam, hold on, let me get my papers here, filed this lawsuit. Okay, so let's
go back a little bit more. We're going to go back just a little bit in this.
Filing 15th date is very important for another reason. On that exact date, let me get my papers out. I'll tell y'all. On that exact date, we had Nicole Margera, who is Bam's wife, filing custody papers. Date. Let me get my papers out. Record. Okay. So what else do we have filed? The transcript and an oath of a guardian was filed the very next day. Now, interestingly, the September 15th date is very important for another reason. On that exact date, let me get my papers.
So on the 15th, mind you, the filing of these papers happened just like either days before or days after. She does eventually explain that, but his wife, his in quotations wife, files for guardianship or for custody of his child, plus she files for you've already guessed it, child support. As Lima is filing for conservatorship to have him involuntarily admitted into a rehab center.
that I'll tell y'all. On that exact date, we had Nicole Margera, who is Bam's wife, filing custody papers. Custody papers in the courts of California, also publicly available. Sorry, I don't have these linked. Custody papers being filed the day after Bam was put into a conservatorship. Now, interestingly,
So the very next day after he was put into the conservatorship, she goes down and files for custody and child support.
all of this happens 1 month after Bam, hold on, let me get my
1
papers
month
here,
after that.
filed this lawsuit. Okay, so let's do a quick timeline recap.
So it wasn't 1 month after. Okay, so it was actually 1 month before all of this took place. Bam had filed a lawsuit against the MTV's producers and stuff like that, all of them, because of some issues with the what was coming up episode of Jackass or movie, the Jackass movie. He actually sued them 1 month prior, and mind you, in that lawsuit, it kind of went back. It went through kind of quickly. They ended up settling in that case, so they came to an agreement. So he got a decent lump sum of a chunk of change from that lawsuit. 1 month later, they filed this conservatorship, and then the next day, his said wife goes down and files for custody of his child and child support.
Thank you, Kale, for the super chat. So Bam Margera sues Jackass, sues MTV, sues Johnny Knoxville in August 2021, okay? September 2021, on the 14th, they filed to put him in a conservatorship in Florida. On the 15th, 1 day later, now this is all just 1 month after he sued Jackass, right? We have a custody filing in California, across the nation. So how could Bam possibly be there for this custody appointment? He couldn't, right? It seems to me like a setup. Now, this is just speculation. I'm going to let y'all make your own mind up. Just hear me out. Let me get through my presentation here. All right.
Okay. Anybody else feeling a little like raising of the eyebrows yet?
So all that's going on, and I start thinking, a lot of y'all have been, not a lot, but a couple of y'all have been asking me in the comments and on Instagram stuff, can you show us how you do what you do? Can you show us how you do?
Okay, this is gonna be actually the video where she shows us how she does what she does and what makes her like go down these rabbit holes.
Research, and I think that's a great question. Yes, I can, and that's what I'm going to do in this video right now. Okay, so this is how my thought process works. All right, who is Lima Yevremovich? Right. First of all, let's just get this out of the way real quick. This is weird. Tranquil Shores. I said, well, some of y'all told me Bam does not live in Florida, so why is it that it's Tranquil Shores, Florida is his address? So I just type in that address, right, and I end up finding out where are we at here. Here, let me move this. I just type it in, right, looking where it is. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Tranquil Shores is a rehab.
Like I was saying, they've already listed his address as the rehab center. He did live in PA, but that's not Florida. But they have him living at this rehab center before he's even at that center. And why would they change his physical address to a rehab center? I mean, most people, when they go into a rehab center, don't they go in for like 90 days, 60, 90 days, sometimes 30 days, however long their treatment plan is, and then they return back to their home. You don't just change your address for those, few days when you're in the centers, into the rehab centers. You normally still keep your original legitimate like physical address. You don't just change it because you're going to be there for 90 days. No, because I plan on going back home where I live, kind of thing. So it's, yeah.
Rehabilitation services. What's the address? 4300 Doom Road, Madeira Beach. Now, listen, y'all don't come after me for sharing somebody's private information because this is publicly available information. It's public. Go type in any citizen, any person can look this up. Okay. So they have his home listed as a rehab hospital. And of course, the next question that I ask is, who owns it? So I like to use a website called Open.
So guess what? Now she wants to find out who owns it.
Corporates. It's free. I clicked companies up here at the top. I don't know if y'all can see my mouse. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. You click companies at the top. You just type in Tranquil Shores. Well, I clicked on the one in Florida, and there's this Barbara Pierzinski. Sorry, I don't know how to say that name. And a Chad Johnson, right, listed here. This was established in 2009. So I don't see anything about Lima Yevremovich. That's what I was looking for, right? Like, I'm just walking y'all through my my research process. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's a dead end, maybe not. But at least now I know this Barbara lady, her name might stick in my head. And I now know that they do have Bam Margera living in a rehab, or at least alleging to a court, right, that that's where he lives. Okay, so then I'm like, who's this Lima lady? And a lot of y'all have heard of her before, but I never did. So I'm going to just go into what I found about her, okay? The first thing.
This right here is where things start getting really, really questionable, fucked, like out of this world, like crazy, like what the hell? Just listen.
I found was a video. I typed it in, and the first thing that came up was like one of these videos. Now, what you're looking at here is a playlist from a YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly. Okay. It is a YouTube channel, which I personally believe, listen. If you're a fan of that channel, I want you to continue being a fan. From what I've seen.
I love that she's willing to give her opinions. She's firm in her beliefs, and she puts out her thoughts very, very well. Let's see what Hemi said. Who was the guy that went in the store and did the number 2 in a display toilet? Wow, that was too funny. I'm not sure. It must be on the movie Jackass that you're talking about. I have no idea. If I had to guess, I would say Steve-O, possibly, or Johnny Knoxville. I'm not sure. I would have
from the Soft White Underbelly channel. What they do is they interview people who are struggling with addiction, or maybe they're not struggling at all with addiction, but they happen to, be addicts or addicted. And the way that the Soft White Underbelly, and listen, this is a huge channel.
He usually did poop stuff. Yeah, that was my first guess, is Steve-O. So I would stick with my first answer a little more confidently now, especially with Hippie Sissy kind of sticking or saying so herself. That would have been my initial first guess.
Have millions, I think, of subscribers. So it's not like, who am I? I'm just some girl. Like, this is just my opinion. But to me, and in my opinion, the way that the Soft White Underbelly channel describes people is very dehumanizing. They describe people in such dehumanizing terms. Like, look,
so this part right here, she goes over like the Soft White Underbelly. Now we're gonna get into
passed away. Rest in peace, Amanda. I will do a long.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make a whole video like going through these videos. Humanizing to put a lady like this is clickbait to me, in my opinion. But y'all don't have to agree with me. Let's get back to Lima. Okay. So you'll start seeing these videos, and I just wanted
was going over how like the channel Soft White Underbelly is very dehumanizing in clickbait in their thumbnails and in their titles and in their uploads of all this stuff. Okay, so that's what she was basically stating. That was, again, her opinion. She has every right to state her opinion, as opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, in my opinion.
To do this, I linked this in the description box below so y'all could watch in chronological order. But you can see we are first introduced to this lady, Amanda, around December 2020, I think, is whenever this was, or 2019 is when this video was actually uploaded. And then a part 2. And then you see Amanda, then you see Lima make an appearance. So this lady right here is Lima. And I'm going to make a whole video like going through these videos.
Okay. So with the story with Amanda was somebody that Soft White Underbelly, the man that hosts Soft White Underbelly, interviewed off of Skid Row. And everybody knows, a whole gist about Skid Row. It's not exactly the best of places to be, and it's a lot of drugs and prostitution. You get my drift. I'm trying to be very careful, as I'm not trying to lose my channel today. But so that's where Amanda finally comes in. Hey, Tiffany, how are you? Thank you for coming. Amanda is no longer with us. Amanda has passed. The death of Amanda is suspicious all in itself. also like because this isn't so much like this isn't like the path that I was going down is Amanda's, but she's given a remind around a kind of like over loop of everything. Um, I I can I didn't yes, she passed. Well, that's okay, so she passed. Now Lima got a guardianship over her. She tried to go for a conservatorship, but she was denied the conservatorship and granted a guardianship. Now you're also going to learn that Lima is a founder of or business holder whatever of a place called Aurora, where it's basically a treatment center that does things based on virtual reality treatment. That all of it in itself is fucked up. It's a mess. I'm gonna hey I'm gonna drop my link for StreamYard in case like anybody wants to come up, has any questions, or wants to talk about things, maybe bounce some words off of each other. Yeah, I would that would be nice, But so we later find out that Lima goes on to the soft white underbelly to give an update on Amanda Robb's recovery progress. While she announces that she has passed, she makes it very well known that the reason for her passing was due to seizures. Again, BJ being like investigatory kind of realm of things. She's like, but I want to see this autopsy results myself. I want to know did she really die from seizures? Because that's kind of fucked up because they're putting her through a virtual reality simulation for a treatment plan. Does that sound kind of messed up? Because I mean, virtual reality, stuff like that can cause seizures for those that are epileptic, if that's what she is. So BJ goes to look into it. Well, it turns out that is not really the cause of Amanda's death. But Lima also lets it slip in that live. The only thing she had in her system was Tylenol, she said. Tylenol is the only thing that she had in her system. No, there was a whole arrayment of prescription drugs in her system that they found upon autopsy. So now, not only is she lying about the medications in her system, but she lied about the cause of death. And she also lets it slip that her death was almost listed as a homicide, which opened their eyes as to what's been going on. So if you're not doing anything wrong, why is this opening your eyes? Because this death could have been listed as a homicide. But you slithered your way out of that homicide and into this aspect because they didn't list it as a homicide? Oh, well, by the time it's all said and done, it's all a mess. It is all a mess. I don't like the way this is headed. Yeah. Do you see what I mean, hippie sissy? I have lots of thoughts, lots of words, lots of opinions on all of this shit. And now thinking about this, they literally plucked Bam from his home, his castle, where his mom, his dad, his brother, his wife and kid, and all these like workers that he had there building a skate park. All these people are all living in Bam's house while Bam is now placed into conservatorship in a rehab center while they're living in his home, using his properties, using his funds because his parents have his funds in their bank accounts. It's all a fucking mess. It's all a mess. It's all a mess. That's all I have to say about that. It's all a fucking mess. Hey. Sorry about that. Hey, how are you?
Hey, girl, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I trusted that it was you. Good thing you didn't peen bomb me.
No pain coming from me today. No pain. I I missed when you started the topic because I just popped in, so I'm not sure exactly where you're going with this. But I kind of have an interesting perspective on these types of channels and stuff. I think.
It's a whole rabbit hole, and the whole thing is BJ Investigates, aka the surprise witness. She's been looking into this because Bam Margera was placed into a conservatorship with
Oh.
so she runs the rehab center, and she's also his conservator.
Oh, so this lady is.
Not this one, not the one here. Lima, the one in the thumbnail.
Oh, the one who was involved with Amanda.
Yes.
Okay.
Lima. And like it goes into so many more different aspects of things. Like I was saying, there's also the case of her sisters who are now supposedly diagnosed with DID. They were YouTubers. They actually have a YouTube channel. And they are the Tequila Sisters. I don't know if you've heard of that channel.
I think I have. Actually. It's not. I'm
because, well, nobody knows where they're at. Although just recently, Lima has come out and said that they're found, but nobody's actually heard from them. Nobody has laid eyes on them. Nobody has actually. They haven't returned back to their channel, but last we knew, due to body cam footage, they're both in rehab centers. Mental
so, and these are Lima's sisters?
Yes.
Now, here's what's interesting about DID. I don't know how familiar you are with it or not, but that typically that presents after somebody has had severe childhood abuse. So whether it was SA or physical, but that comes from.
Funny you say that. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Are you going to cover this? What do you mean, Molly? Okay. So with the whole DID thing, in the body cam footage, which is available on the Surprise Witnesses or BJ Investigates channel, there's two channels where she does work on both of them. One's more like for an upload, like more like a podcast kind of content. So sometimes she'll jump there. Sometimes she's over on her Surprise Witness channel. So in the body cam footage, that her mom called the police, claimed that the sister had choked the mother and was trying to kill her. However, the police find her in the bathtub. She goes through this whole story about how she's now remember I said Lima is this famed founder of Aurora, a mental health rehabilitation thing that uses virtual reality simulations
To what? To try and do like cognitive behavioral therapy when placed in scenarios that might be tempting or something, or
exactly. But listen,
okay.
Her sisters was never diagnosed with any of this. They were, but I think they had like a depression, like bipolar kind of thing that was going on. I haven't got that far or looked that far in or listened that far into their whole situations yet. But in a roundabout way. So remember I said about the virtual reality in the body cam footage. I can pull that up if you guys want to see that too. The one sister, Dahlia, tells the police that it's like she's living in a production house where she's raped over and over a million times a day. But she has lost all senses to her body and she can't feel it, but she knows that it's taken place. And when you're an officer listening to somebody telling you this, and you've already been told by everybody around this person, oh, they're DID, they have these multiple personalities, so you can't believe it.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
automatically going to think, I don't believe you. But do remember, Lima is into this virtual reality simulation stuff. Is she putting her sisters through this treatment and making them feel like they're crazy?
Like as guinea pigs or something. I don't know. This all sounds weird as AF. But I'll say this: the
How,
whole.
how
Mhm.
during the grapes, they like pull the okay, it gets very okay. Trigger warning. They talk about pulling fluids from the body after it was administered, and then putting it on her and playing in it.
Oh my god.
This is all, you know. It's a
I'll
fact.
say this: the drug treatment industry, the drug treatment industry is very corrupt. I mean, there's a lot of backhanded stuff that goes on. Same with elder care. There's a lot of snaky things that go on. A lot of people are stolen from. I mean, it's just the whole industry, sadly, is very corrupt. So none of this is very I guess it's surprising, but it's kind of like par for the course with these types of scenarios, and even these channels like Soft White Underbelly. They call it poverty PORN, but these people who are well intended, I don't think they understand where their good intent leads a lot of these interviewees, the path it leads them down, and it sometimes it can make things even more destructive in their lives, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was just finishing up interest.
So what has Mark made any statements on this Lima girl or anything like that? He kind of
Oh
tends to
no,
not.
like that's the thing. So like even after BJ requested um Amanda's autopsy, she says I've reached out to him in several different like hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but she lied to you about the autopsy results. I don't know if you want to at least, and she sent him all the information. She's done it in all nice aspects. Like she's more than willing to give everybody the benefit of the doubt kind of thing. Maybe
Right.
you just got the wrong information. Maybe you didn't know she was going to lie about it kind of thing. To ask him if he would, at least correct the wrong, and he ignores her, blocks her.
He needs to stop getting so involved with. Do you remember that one girl he interviewed a while back that he did that GoFundMe for? She was really young, a really pretty girl, and it turned into a big old scandal with her too, with the allocation of the money. He got her an apartment. Do you remember that chick?
I don't, because I the only thing I watched is the family that he covers every once in a
Oh, the
great while.
Whitakers.
The
Yeah,
Whitakers, yeah, that's the only thing that I've really watched from it. Because I'm like, what? Like, because again,
yeah, right.
he uses a shit ton of clickbait
Uh-huh.
for
He
the
does.
family,
And
Reddit family. That's what he calls them, anyways.
yeah, he does. And I mean that he's made a lot of money off of them now, and it's kind of the thing that makes us sad. I got really close to a channel called Chosen One with the channel owner over there, and he was interviewing ladies in the streets of Detroit and whatnot, and he got way too involved with them, and the subs got too involved with it. The donations and money and gifts were being sent. He became kind of like this personal mail carrier for them. But then when anything bad would go wrong and anything happened in their lives, they would immediately blame him for things. And now it's kind of progressed to a point where this one girl in particular, she's doing so horribly, and it's really truly from the enabling of the subs. She started her own channel. People were just handing her cash every day, and she's fallen so deep into addiction now. It's like watching somebody slowly die in front of you, and it's really, I mean, it's his fault essentially. I mean, not to sound so accusatory, but so these channels, I've stopped watching them because of how messy I saw it get with Chosen with Tom. But Mark, I've always kind of watched here and there, but I've noticed it with him too. He seems like certain people he's getting too involved with. He's renting them apartments, he's doing funds for them, and that's going to wind up ruining him ultimately. Like this whole thing sounds like a whole ass mess.
It
Um,
really is. It really is. Like I've only done like the playlist for BAM so far, and it branches off in so many different ways that you just can't wrap your head around it. But it's once you're looking into it, you can kind of. Molly Lollipops, I think I understand what you were meaning. Am I going to be covering this? I would like to. I would like to maybe do more lives and talk about this. It just depends on how if this is something that you guys as my subs are interested in even looking into.
I
I've
think
got
it's interesting stuff. You got my attention, and that's hard to do.
well, it's I listen. I forgot about everybody else. I don't even know any other channels anymore.
Good. That's a
That's
good
how
way to
like
be.
in love I am with this whole thing, and I'm like, oh my lord, what did I do to myself?
Okay, so let me ask you something then. So do you think that it is possible that this Amanda girl was with this Lima lady involved in her virtual reality program, whatever that entails, and that something happened to her due to the whatever this Lima lady was doing to her?
I'll tell you what. We later find out if we do continue going down this rabbit hole again. I will watch. I will right now even give you the link to um why is it saying StreamYard? How weird. Whatever. I will give you the link. I will drop it in chat to both of her channels. I will drop that for everybody. Um, y'all are more than welcome to check in on this. Do your own research. Then maybe the next time we get together, you know, we can discuss some things. You guys are more than welcome to reach out to me. Again, my email, missing in life 21 2020 or yeah, what is it? I don't even know because I never give it out anymore. So it's missing in life 21 2021, I do believe. Yep, 2021 at gmail.com. Email me. I don't even know my own. Listen, I don't email myself, you guys.
That's why my email is just my name. It makes it easier. Well, hey, listen, Steph. I don't want to interrupt your flow of what you're talking about here. I thought you were talking about something different, but I don't really know. I'm not versed enough on what you are.
No,
That's
I'm okay with you even being up here and like going down because this whole thing is like all I'll go back to the video here in a second. I'm gonna put
okay.
this other link for the other channel for her. I do. I mean, I would love for other people to get stuck here with me. Don't hate me later though, okay? When you can't peel yourself away, because I promise it might happen.
I'll hunker down stuff. I need other stuff to look at, anyways. I like
Okay.
this sort of thing.
Okay. Let me see. That was the surprise witnesses channel. No, that wasn't. Okay, hold on, just 1 second. Let me grab this. I
Okay.
dropped BJ investigates twice. Sorry about that. Well, I'm really, really, really representing or putting out her links, right? Hey, Robbie, how are you?
Hey,
We left
Robbie.
on a rabbit hole I found. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's very, very weird. It's weird. So yeah, so imagine being Bam and he's stuck in the what they call Florida Shuffle. Okay, if you want to jump down, that's fine. If not, you're more than welcome to stay. But so with Bam, he's constantly like, okay, so he did like I think they said like 70 days or like so many days into his rehabilitation. They literally find the littlest thing to say, oh, your rehabilitation isn't good enough, so you got to continue staying here in the rehabilitation center.
Oh.
So there was one instance he flicked his cigarette butt outside the window of his vehicle, and they said, oh no, you're not done because that could cause a fire.
So now, okay, quick question, Steph. Now, all this stuff with Bam, because I know he was missing. This has all happened. This has all taken place since they have now, I'm assuming, found him.
Okay, so like he wasn't really he was involuntarily put into the rehabilitation center when he went in. Okay, so he went we later find out that Lima's way of doing the conservatorship kind of things and gaining like said person's trust. Mind you, she's talking to these people in the midst of their addictions, right? So you're given, she basically says, and she has a format. BJ later goes into it. If you guys jump ahead, whatever, you'll learn. But there's I actually think we learned that in this same video. Her format to getting the conservatorship or getting people into the rehab center so she can gain the conservatorships over them is she gives them a choice: jail or rehab.
Wow.
In the midst of addiction, they don't want to go into jail to detox.
Right. No, nobody does. Wow.
And not know when, but chances, like she later tells you, she says, I'm just giving you my own opinion, my own stance, and mind you, she's a lawyer. She says, if you're ever put in this predicament, never go to the rehab center, go to jail. Because at least in jail, you haven't lost your rights.
You're right. Right. You still maintain control. Yeah, that's a good point. Right.
Control of yourself. When you go into the rehab center, although it sounds better when you're in the midst of addictions, you want to go down. You'd rather go into the rehab center. But when you, even though they say, yeah, you'll have access to your phone, you can call your family, you can see
Yeah,
them.
no, you don't.
No,
Yeah.
no. And especially in Lima's little treatment center, they cut you off from everything. You can't even have music that you like in there. Anything and everything you do in there is on their will, on their say so, and that's what it is. They strip you of everything. White rabbit hole. What rabbit hole are we going down? Bam Margeria's conservatorship, and the conservator that holds his conservatorship. It's a disaster area. Let me tell you. This obviously I wanted to prepare a little bit more for the live, but Hippie Sissy and I were talking about it in the tarot reading channel, and I'm like, how about we just bring this over to the bitch talks? Because this bitch has got a lot to say about it.
These conservatorships are really messy. Anytime you have to take legal control over an adult, I mean, it just seems like a recipe for disaster. I understand it's necessary in some cases, especially if you have somebody who becomes indigent or, whatever the case. But with these people like Britney Spears and things like that, I mean, it always just seems like such a tragic mess, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, and like it said, well, why do you want Bam? Because she started the whole free Bam campaign. Everybody's like, well, why do you want him out? He needs the help. No, the fuck he don't. He don't need the help. He needs to be left the hell alone because you guys are driving him into a loony bin.
Right.
You all are
Right.
making him feel like psycho. This bitch is drinking cinnamon, French toast black tea. Yum. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Ooh.
It does. But all right, I'm going to continue with this.
I've not had the opportunity to watch them all yet, so I do not want to comment on the videos. But I started noticing,
mind you, as she's doing these researches and puts out her videos, a lot of these are disappearing or they're being edited.
This lady Lima
why do you gotta edit an already put out video?
That's sus, isn't it? Yeah, wow.
Like why are you guys or like pulling down already put out videos? So she will tell you later that anything that has been pulled down, she has downloaded. If you want to look into this, contact her if you want to see any of the pulled videos. She has them.
Inserted herself into Amanda's case, right? And then all of a sudden we're reading Amanda's autopsy results. See video 8? So I learned enough to know Amanda died. Okay, so Amanda has passed away. Rest in peace, Amanda. I will do a longer, more in-depth story on just the Amanda piece of things when I have had the opportunity to more meaningfully research in a way that will be
And she has done that. That is out.
respectful to Amanda.
This
Okay.
lady's an
So
attorney,
then I just keep
Steph?
on looking.
She was a lawyer. Yes. She
Oh,
quit.
okay.
Okay, she later tells why she quit being a lawyer. There's a video, and I think I watched it, but it wasn't as in like the information as to it was because of like the deep dives. I do remember that it was because of like what she was finding out about the conservatorship stuff in the firm that I believe that she was in. I believe like was um okay with conservatorships, and she said morally I can't just stand by that, like I can't work like that, so she actually released her license.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So she's like, or otherwise I could be out here making millions and trillions of dollars, but nope, I'm here and I'm doing this. Like she's like, this is it, because it's just a mess. Hey Tara with Trisha, hi, how are you? Glad you joined us.
Who is this lady? And I find this
Hey,
website
Trisha.
called ifers.org. Again, all linked below. So the Institute for Education, Research, and Scholarships. Well, that is very vague. And I've learned through my research in the Free Britney movement that when companies name themselves like very vague things that could mean anything, a little pink flag should go up. Not a red flag, because anybody can name anybody anything for any reason. But what in the shit is it?
This woman is so smart on all of this. Like I would have just like read through it and been like, whatever. Okay, well, let's keep going, you know? But her being a lawyer, she's like, oh, I want to know what that's all about.
Institute for Education, Research, and Scholarships. Okay, I don't know. The Institute for Education Research, IFERS, is the whatever, the short form, the what's it called? I totally blanked on what it's called. The initials or whatever. IFERS. Wellness Center supports advanced research and applies integrated solutions with state-of-the-art.
Skip over this.
Then we're talking about some transhumanism handbook. Don't know what that is. So let's read what Amanda Lima has said about herself.
Okay, pay attention. Pay attention, because this woman's biography changes based on the website, based on the company that you find her listed on. Also, not only that, but her name and the spellings change.
Interesting. Well, and what she's saying about the corporation's name, a lot of times shady types of businesses or front business, businesses that are front for other things, they'll broadly name themselves so they can have a bigger range of SIC codes when they're, you know what I mean? So it's not, so it leaves them legally open to more types of, I don't know, but that's what I think.
And like you also find out that one of the businesses ran by Lima is a nonprofit. And so like she's getting all these donations into her nonprofit. When BJ goes to look in to find her business, it's non-existent. It is not listed in any legal nonprofit listings out there.
Oof, you'll get federal grant money too if you're running a treatment house, a treatment center as well.
Right.
A lot of it.
Also running a nonprofit, she should have it registered federally. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, she would have to file 501c3 every year and post her financials on a website publicly if she's doing that. Wow.
Yeah. This is all like this is
shady AF. This is some juicy stuff here, Steph.
Yeah, well, welcome to my life. This is what I find myself doing. So when I'm at work, I'm telling everybody, "Hey guys, I'm really busy. I want to be listening to these lives and catch up in the whole aspect of things in some sort. And I would love to just maybe go live a little bit more often. Find live, make time. I'm sure I could make time. I could get up a little bit earlier, or whatever to go live, as long as it's interesting like this. I find this very
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I would love to. And like I said, if anybody wants to go into the deep dive with me, and we can bounce ideas, do lives, whatever. I'm game. Let's do this. I'm down. Okay.
This bio. Okay. So she's on the board of the Wellness Advisory Committee. Don't know what that is. She's on the Wellness Advisory Committee of IFERS. Don't have a clue what any of that shit is, but we're going to read it. Lima Yevremovich is the founder of AURA, Autonomous User Rehabilitation Agent. Now, remember, this is the lady who petitioned to put Bam Margera into a conservatorship. Oh, shoot. Oh, I done skipped something very important. Let me share something with y'all else real quick.
You will find BJ can be kind of forgetful and sporadic. Very, very, very feisty. I can't stress that enough. She's very feisty.
That's why I can't do nothing live. Okay, we're going to go to my Instagram account because
Also, I know you guys are probably wondering about her pretty pink little ears that she's wearing. That connects her to the motherboard ship, she said.
I have posted a
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, those are her connection to the motherboard. That's what helps her work. So in like every one of her videos or lives, she's got those ears on.
Oh my god. Well, there went our investigator right down the. That's cute.
Love you guys listening while scrolling Casa Bonita's new website. Ooh, fun. Good, Trisha. I want to check out I want to go check out. What did I do? What did I do?
Oh, feels like the beginning.
Yeah, I know, right? I just pressed a button. Anyway.
Amanda is doing so well.
Okay, so we're here.
Hashtag free Bam. So let's see what
push the button while we're trying to read the chat. I'm reading it from my phone because it's in a different thing. Want to go check out Casa Bonita's since they reopened. Oh yeah, you were saying something about that on one of your lives, wasn't you, Robbie?
Lima had posted as a comment to that post. She said,
okay,
just wrap education so y'all can learn how to do these research. I want to give Amanda the put Bam Margera into a conservatorship. Oh, shoot. Oh, I done skipped something very important. Let me share something with y'all else.
This is where we were. Sorry. I'm sporadic too.
Okay, we're going to go to my Instagram account because I have posted I reposted one of Lima's posts. Okay, so this is one of Lima's posts. She posted it last year, I think around May, right around the time I think poor Amanda did pass away. But
also, if you're going to go looking into the deep dive of the sisters, she's made some pretty out of the ordinary posts, like hashtag X trafficking, hashtag child,
oh boy,
child trafficking. Yeah, she does all that in a missing persons post about her sisters. Hey Tyra, how are you? Glad to see you around here. But welcome to the life of
again, I want to give Amanda the whole story. She deserves. We're gonna do a whole video on her. So
hey, Tyra.
From AURA posted again. Do not reach out to this lady. I'm not encouraging y'all to reach out to her. This is the purpose of this video is for education.
Absolutely. Do not reach out to this lady because I'm covering her. Don't even tell her that I'm covering her, okay? Because this woman is known to try to sue people for defamation. However, facts are not defamation. If we eventually learn that because BJ starts to start her videos either with facts are not defamation or ends facts with facts are not defamation, okay? Do not contact this lady. I am only stating my opinions on this channel. I'm going to make that very well clear. If I forget any lives covering this whole situation, remind me. Somebody please remind me. Facts are not defamation. And this is only my opinions based on the research that I have done. Just get that out.
Allegedly, and in Stephanie's opinion, this is her take on her perspective of this lady's perspective.
Right. From the hole in my ass, this is just that perspective of things, okay? Well, I don't know how great that is, but
by proxy.
Entertainment only, mostly
right.
education, so y'all can learn how to do these researches yourself, and we can all be working together. So here we have Lima pictured looking rather, I don't know, weird, to be honest. Like her face, just kind of a weird setup. I mean, listen, I don't know about y'all, but in the office I actually work at, I need a lot more on my desk than some makeup and a laptop, but whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's her real office. So
doesn't that kind of bring, like, alert you to, like, what the fuck? I mean, what is she doing?
That looks like a rent office. That looks like in LA they have all these buildings where they have empty office spaces that you can rent out for like an hour or something like that. That's what that makes me feel like that is.
That's interesting that you say that because I mean and like she said, anybody that is actually a business person, or like her first instance when she was doing her law firm, she needed more than just makeup and a laptop and a phone on her desk, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a primo building in downtown LA. It looks like too, or close to it. The rent right there is gonna be super expensive. If she's doing things that are nonprofits and that have, clients that are in recovery and things like that, there's gonna be a lot of paperwork and stuff. That's probably a rent office. It just kind of looks like it.
That's weird that you say that.
Hmm.
Well, like I said, I am gonna tag her, so maybe she'll come back and she'll kind of see what kind of information we gathered, or what we kind of bounce off each other. That's kind of why I was like, yeah, it's nice to have somebody up here because I mean, especially somebody that's local in the area or knows things about that kind of stuff. So,
Well, let's click on it. Oh shoot. Okay. And what did I say as the comment here? I said, this woman petitioned to put Bam Margera into a conservatorship in Florida 5 months after this post, alleging that he was, quote, backing her business. I said, sketchy business.
yes, another thing. So she posted about how Bam Margera and Nikki were backing her business of the rehab centers. But now she files conservatorship over Bam.
Interesting. Oh wait, she's in Vegas. It looks like they even have those in Vegas as well, I think.
Yeah,
Oh wait, no, that's where yeah, it says she's in Vegas. You can rent offices in Vegas though too. It doesn't look like Vegas.
I mean, you two ladies said Tyra's name wrong. Or Tira. Oh my gosh. Tira's?
And only 1 month after Bam blew the whistle on MTV and Paramount, that's whenever they put him in a conservatorship. Where there's opportunistic freeloaders, there's fire. # free Bam. So let's see what Lima had posted as a comment to that post. She said, just wrapped up a very successful Las Vegas trip with Aura's partnering treatment centers. Okay, so they have partnering treatment centers in Las Vegas. So that's something we need to keep in mind.
This woman, I just, okay. She amazes me with like the thought process that she puts into this. It's so crazy. Tira.
Aura is growing so quick. Well, I wonder why. You have millions of views now on your videos of Amanda, which we're going to get into in another video. I just don't, there's so much stuff to get into. We can't even get into that whole Amanda thing today. Growing so quick, and I am so honored that I am in a position to help so many people with Meet Aura Tech. Thank you for all of the support with Amanda, and to Bam Margera and Nikki B124 for backing us.
So, we also later learned that in one of the virtual reality simulations that they have on the Soft White Underbelly page, they actually show Amanda doing a virtual reality session. Well, in that virtual reality session, they have like they actually take you inside of it. It's Skid Row, where Amanda came from, but on one of the billboards is a photo and thank you for sponsoring whatever, a billboard of a picture of Bam and Nikki.
Oh wow.
Reality thing.
Wow, this is super weird, man. I wonder if this lady was treating any of these patients with like any type of like MDMA or something like that as well.
I'll tell you what, the list of prescription pills they found in Amanda, it's quite lengthy.
So that is public now. Wow.
Okay, so like, Bam goes into the rehab center, right? And he's not big on medications, really. He tells you they now have him on more inside of the place than he was outside of the place.
Oh, that's
like
not good.
Whole arrangement of things. It's so crazy. Bam actually does end up getting out. Sometime in April of this year, he got out of the rehab centers. He managed to get away long enough to find out about BJ, where he then connects with BJ and shows up at her front door to do a sit down like interview with her. And
so that's the rehab he escaped from when it kind of made the media a little bit, when it said he's it said he was missing, but clearly he wasn't. He was kind of in a standoff about seeing his son and all that. Remember that?
No, that was before April. That's another thing.
Oh,
Because listen, when he escaped that time, he was only 5 minutes away from the rehab center. But he was
oh,
due to be released. He was due to be released. But he left the premises according to what his thing is. They let him leave. Mind you, he's already on all these prescriptions drugs. He's doped out of his mind. He thinks he's
right.
further than 5 minutes from this rehab center. Like in the body cam footage, when the police tell him he's only 5 minutes from the rehab center, he looks dazed and confused. He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "No, I'm further than 5 minutes." He's like, "I
Oh,
know for a while." And the cop's like, "No, you're only 5 minutes from the rehab center," which makes him then look further fucked, like
oh,
drugged up, further, you know,
yeah, more messed up. What a mess.
like. And he later starts actually in one of the videos I actually just watched just recently, so it's further down the list. She's going over one of the police body cam footages, and like she's like, "Look, you can see him," like, and that's the arrest of him at the hotel. Um, you can see him like actually processing it, and it's starting to click in his head what the hell is going on, because he's like, "There's no way in hell, I know we drove longer than 5 minutes. How are we only 5 minutes from the rehab center?" And then he starts processing things, and here he's supposed to meet up with his wife and his son, who he's told is in the room next door from him, but they're sleeping still. He's waiting for them to get, because they had just got there. They were there for 5 minutes before the police showed up there to bring him back to the rehab center. And the person who
Wow.
made the call works at the rehab center and is a convicted felon. I think he's convicted in the system, basically. And he's a sketchy character in himself in this whole thing. This has been like the most, I don't even know, like, mind-boggling thing I've looked into in a long time. And I could probably stay here forever and go on about this. It's so crazy. Thank you, Tira. I appreciate it. I enjoy the background too. I change it up once in a while. I do. But like it's such this is all a mess. But always remember, like, she's telling you like the key points that you need to remember. You need to remember that he was, before, when he was filed upon for the conservatorship, his wife, then went and got the child support
Right,
and
right.
and it's absolute mess. I'll tell you what, there was one of his interviews he did with her. Oh my God, I was so heartbroken. Like, he ugly cried even at the mention of his son's name, because all he wants
Oh,
is to see his son. It has been, at that time, over a year and a half without his son, and all he wants to do is see his son, but everybody's blocking him from seeing his son.
oh.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
talking,
he
oh
definitely
my
loves
God.
his little boy. Hey, girlie, I need to hop down. I poured some resin, so it's just cured, so I have to pour it into my molds. But I would love to dive into this with you. This is interesting.
Yeah, this is definitely a rabbit hole I can't seem to get out of, but
No, it's so I'm gonna be.
we'll do probably a little bit more into this. I'm not going to be able to finish the whole hour and a half. Again, I have dropped her link into the chat. I will drop it again before I end, and y'all are welcome to continue on, and we can pick up either where we left off or wherever everybody's at the next time I come live. Maybe
This
later
is
on tonight.
awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks for having me up, girl. I got to pour this
Yeah,
stuff
no
before
problem.
it gets
Until
too.
next time,
Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you soon, Steph. I'll be listening.
yep, no problem.
Okay.
Like I was saying, maybe we can just take a break and come back later, or however, just, if I have enough people that, I don't know, comment on my comment section or somewhere and say, hey, go live, go live, go live. We want to continue this. Hippie Sissy's like, yes, please. All right, let's continue just for a little bit longer. I don't want to make these lives too fairly long because then people aren't willing to come back and watch them because they're like, that's just a bunch of bull, So I don't want to make them too very long. We're already looking at an hour and 20 minutes. We'll do like an hour and a half and we'll probably cut it. But let's see where we can go from here. Okay.
Amanda is doing so well. Well, Amanda's now dead, so she's not doing well anymore. And we'll be using Aura's
They constantly say that Amanda is a success case in their practice, but how is she a successful case if she's dead and died in their care? Tell me that. There's even more to that. I'm not even going to get into that.
mobile telehealth application as she transitions to lower levels of care and gains more freedom. Now, what you will learn in a minute, y'all, is what Aura's technology is. And it has to do with using artificial intelligence and virtual reality to intentionally induce traumatizing events, introduce traumatized people, addicts usually, into traumatic environments using virtual reality to trigger them on purpose. That is the purpose of this treatment. Now, listen, I am not a mental health expert. I have mental health struggles, if that's not clear to y'all by now, but I am not a doctor. I cannot and will not speak to this technology. What I can definitely say is somebody who struggles with a lot of the stuff that this lady is alleging.
Now, she's very, very knowledgeable. Again, just gotta add in some words.
She treats, it would not be useful for me if this technology was implemented in a way that wasn't, safe. You know what I mean? Like they could use this technology in ways that could severely, severely harm people at a neurological level and at a mental level. Okay. So do I know if that's how they're using it or not? Hell no. But what I do know is Amanda's now dead.
Again, that right there, like what she was explaining to me, in my own opinion, could have something to do with the statements made by her younger twin, or not her twin, but her younger sister, Dahlia. I feel like that. I mean, she says, Dahlia, in the police cam, she says that she's taken advantage of multiple millions of times a day, and it's almost like it's ran as a production house, but she just can't feel it. She's lost all sensitive or all feeling in her body because of it. That almost just leads me to believe they're putting this chick into like a virtual reality kind of stance of things, making her feel like this is what's going on, and then when she says something about it, it makes her look like the woohoo.
Okay, so let's get back to her post. This is Lima's post. We will be, so they were going to be using Aura's mobile telehealth application. So what else do we know that Bam Margera told us, y'all? According to that wellness agreement, he had to do a FaceTime call with a doctor every day to take his medicines. That wasn't FaceTime. If they were using FaceTime for that, that is not HIPAA compliant. You know how I know that? My therapist told me. FaceTiming with your therapist, according to my therapist, who I would assume is an expert, FaceTime on your phone is not HIPAA compliant. You have to use a mobile telehealth service like DoxyME, or I think Zoom has a partner program where they have like a.
So now they got. So according to Bam, he did a FaceTime and not an actual legal health FaceTime like program, like virtual reality or virtual like a Zoom, that type of thing. Now it's, you got to, FaceTime isn't as secure as a actual HIPAA compliant platform like Zoom, or like she was saying, all these other ones. It's got to be something that is secure, so people are not able to tap into your conference with your doctors, therapists, whatever, so people cannot tap in and receive your own personal medical practice, or oh my gosh, I can't even.
Very secret, private. It's like more regulations whenever you're having doctor's appointments on these things. So look, what is Lima doing? Mobile, she said Amanda was going to be using Aura's mobile telehealth application as she transitions to lower levels of care and gains more freedom. That sounds exactly like what they were trying to do to Bam through that wellness agreement he's suing over. The Aura app will help to provide support, connect her to her healthcare team, and alert her clinician before possible relapse. So we can aid her in the fight to stay sober day to day. Another important thing y'all need to know about Amanda is in her first videos that she did on Soft White Underbelly, she did not want help. She was perfectly fine in her choices. She was homeless by choice.
So, isn't there, I mean, the simple fact that they made this woman go into a rehab under a guardianship that she was perfectly fine not even doing is outrageous, in my opinion. Like, because, they always say the first step to recovery is realizing you have a problem and wanting to fix that problem. If she didn't want to go into this program and she didn't want to have no recovery realm of things, in my own personal opinion, is she ever going to be really, well, we all know the end, but I mean, she's never going to be in the full recovery that they're making it out she was in.
And she did not want help to get off of her drugs that she was addicted to. Now, as someone sitting on the outside looking in, you might not like that Amanda made that decision for herself. You might think she should have somebody step in and make a decision for her to get her off of those drugs. But I don't believe that. I believe that people have the right to personal bodily autonomy. And on those first 2 Soft White Underbelly videos, Amanda said, I don't want help. I don't need help. But then you get.
And okay, now we're going to end with this right here. So when it comes to this whole thing with Amanda, you're later going to find out that Lima then goes on to Soft White Underbelly, and she says, "Oh, I'm the founder of this and this and this and this, and through the donations of my subscribers and my support systems, we're gonna pay for one person that you have hosted on your channel to get free treatment through our system, through our rehabilitation system." Now, if you think about it, they always say, addiction is the most isolating thing out there. You isolate yourself. You get isolated from your family, from everybody. So to have anybody that is close to those that are really deep into an addiction, like where they're literally living on a street, chances are their family isn't going to give two hells what goes on with them, basically. Lima plays into this because even though she says, "Oh, and we're gonna offer it up to one of the people you have hosted here," she already knows ahead of time she wants to pick Amanda. She's gonna pick Amanda because, well, there's some more to learn on that story. We're just going to leave it at that for today, for now. It is so messed up. They are controlling them somehow, and it's scary. I agree. I definitely do agree with you there. This is all very scary. And like, when I watched his interview with her this past April, oh, my heart broke for him. And you can just see like the confused, like as he learned about things, you could see his confusedness in his facial expressions. You could see like it, and he really wants to speak with somebody that understands. He's like, "Girl, you've done your research." Like, he's like, "I need a copy of everything you have in that folder, in the files." He's like, "I need it all. You have everything. Like, you understand everything that I've been through." It's a rabbit hole. I do appreciate you all for being here for now with me and joining me on this adventure that I'm hoping you all are willing to take with me. And I hope you all join me either, I don't know, maybe later tonight. If not later tonight, then probably definitely for sure tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. Remember, stay loyal, stay true, stay you. Love you. Bye.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can't and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts.
Something deep inside won't let me